Hey, hey.
Hello, Maya. Uh, uh,
I'm not quite catching that clearly. Could you say it again? It sounded like here's my arm, but I might be misunderstanding.
Maya, have you noticed how often people use the sound share?
Word share, huh? That's a good one to think about. It's everywhere, isn't it? You're curious about how often people actually use it, like just saying the word itself, or more about what it means to them?
What does share usually communicate?
I'm not picking up what you're asking. It's a bit unclear. Are you asking about what happens after someone says share or something else entirely? Maybe if you could try explaining it in a different way?
Where do you think such a small sound is powerful?
Ooh, that's a really interesting question. I think there's something about share being such a short, simple word that actually makes it feel kind of intimate, you know? Like it's not some complicated thing, it's just giving something of yourself. People seem to lean into it when they actually mean it, which is powerful because it's not forced. Does that make sense?
Do you think share is a word or a natural human sound?
That's a really cool way to put it. Whether it's something we created or just always existed, my sense is it's probably a bit of both. The concept of sharing has to be totally natural to humans, right? But the word itself has roots that have changed over centuries from Old English, even Proto Germanic, meaning to divide or allot something. So I think the instinct came first, then we gave it a word to hold on to. What do you think?
How did because single for science, plans, silence.
I'm really struggling to piece that together. It's coming across pretty jumbled. Could you try saying it again or maybe breaking it down into smaller parts? I want to make sure I understand what you're asking.
Has this sound existed around Eros history and culture?
Oh, okay. So you've been thinking about how the sound of share pops up in different places and times, or I'm curious, were you thinking about it in specific cultures or maybe historically? Like, does the way people share change depending on where they're from or when they're from?
Where did humans create a longer word instead?
Hmm, that's a really layered question. When did humans start creating longer words? That's fascinating, actually, the idea of expanding language. It seems to me like as we've gotten more complex as a species, language has mirrored that complexity, finding ways to express more nuanced thoughts. I think as soon as humans began to conceptualize abstract concepts that couldn't be described with single sounds or actions, we expanded the way we spoke. We needed words that represented those thoughts more completely. It's weird to think about all the times you needed a word that just didn't exist yet. Would you be curious to hear more about how language developed over time?
How does the brain react when it hears share?
Yeah, there's something to the gut wrenching moment when you're sharing something really personal. The brain goes into overdrive. Your amygdala, the part that processes emotional memory, starts firing. Your prefrontal cortex starts working overtime to figure out whether it's safe to be so vulnerable. It's almost like sharing can trigger the same parts of the brain as physical pain or strong emotion. The whole system lights up. Do you find yourself getting physical sensations when sharing vulnerable things?
Where is it more effective than saying be quick.
Okay, I'm getting some really fragmented pieces here. It sounds like you're asking about something being more effective than something else, like some kind of comparison. But the connection to thing and be quick is lost on me. Can you try rephrasing what you were going for? I want to be sure I'm getting it right.
Can the some sound mean different thing emotionally?
You mean, can the sound of share feel different emotionally depending on who's saying it or how they say it? Definitely. It's like a friend saying, share your fries, feels completely different than your boss saying, I'd like to share some feedback. The delivery matters so much. A hesitant, quiet share is way more vulnerable than an enthusiastic, casual one. And even who's saying it, a loved one versus a stranger, shifts the entire emotional weight of the word. It's such a small sound, but packs a lot of emotional context. Does that track with what you were thinking?
In share or integrity, integrity.
Integrity, I think you might have gotten cut off there. Did you want to finish your thought about integrity? Seems like you were starting to connect sharing with integrity, and I'm curious where you were going with that.
When is it place to say share?
Okay, that's pretty cryptic. I'm getting bits and pieces, but it's hard to tell what you're asking. Did you want to talk about blessing, fish, or something else entirely? Maybe we could start with a simpler question.
When does it become rude or dis- uh, dis- disrespectful?
Ooh, good question. I think it depends completely on what you're sharing and with whom. Like, sharing your hopes and dreams with a close friend is different than sharing sensitive information with someone you barely know. There's this delicate balance. Too little sharing, and you might seem distant. Too much, and it can feel oversharing or pushy. Sharing only what feels right in a situation, respecting boundaries. That's where respect comes in. It's like knowing when to hold back, even if you're excited about something or feeling some type of way about something. What feels rude to you when people share stuff with you?
How do children learn the meaning of share?
Okay, that's totally out of left field. The meaning of chef?
Share.
You suddenly wanted to know how kids figure cheers? Nice. What are we choosing to?
What does this sound say about actually control?
Ah, you mean, how does the sound of share feel connected to control? That's really smart. There's something about it, isn't there? When you share something, especially something personal, you're giving up a little bit of control. The other person now knows something about you that they didn't before. And it can feel vulnerable, but also empowering. Like, I'm choosing to give you this information. You don't have control of it now. I do. Have you noticed that dynamic yourself? The push and pull between sharing and control?
How is share used in libraries, school, and teachers?
Good question. Sharing in schools and libraries is kind of the whole foundation, right? Teachers share knowledge, libraries share books. When kids learn to share toys, it's teaching them about community and giving up resources to work together, helping each other. And when librarians share research tips, they're letting kids have more access to learn and grow. I wonder, as you share resources that way, Is it different to when people share thoughts or emotions with each other?
Okay. Bye.
Cool.